We've all seen brands try to come back from the brink. But this one is different. It's got to be one of the riskiest, most incredible turnarounds we've ever seen. It's all about how a company, Domino's, facing total collapse, decided to do the one thing you're never supposed to do: tell everyone just how bad they were. Oof. The crust tastes like cardboard. I mean, you can't get much more brutal than that. And here's the thing. By 2009, this wasn't just one angry customer. This was what everyone thought. The pizza, the very thing their entire business was built on, was a joke. Now, most companies would hide that, right? They'd bury that quote so deep. But Domino's, they did the exact opposite. They practically put it on a billboard for the whole world to see. All right, so here's how we're going to break down this wild story. First, we'll look at just how bad things got, the recipe for disaster. Then we'll get into their crazy idea, the most honest campaign. We'll see if the gamble pays off, then explore how they became more of a tech company than a pizza place. And finally, we'll pull out the key lessons from the Domino's playbook. Okay, so let's set the stage. The year is 2009. For Domino's, this wasn't just a bad quarter. This was a full-blown five-alarm fire. We're talking a total crisis of identity, a product nobody liked, and trust that had completely evaporated. And the heart of it all, it wasn't their delivery times, it wasn't their logo, it was the pizza itself. I mean, look at this. In national taste tests, they were dead last. Pizza Hut, Papa John's, and then Domino's, way at the bottom. Your main product can't be your biggest problem. That's a recipe for disaster. And if you think that's bad, get this. In blind taste tests, people rated their pizza as being tied for last place with Chuck E. Cheese. No offense to Chuck E. Cheese, but you're a global pizza giant. That's not a comparison you ever want to see. It's a massive, massive reality check. And it just kept getting worse. For years, sales were flat or falling. Then the stock price just tanks, down more than 50%. And just when you think it can't get any worse, bam, that infamous viral video hits of employees doing disgusting things to the food. Any trust they had left? Gone. The company was in an absolute freefall. So you're at rock bottom. What's the play? The typical corporate move is, a quiet press release, maybe a new coupon, minor tweaks. But Domino's, they decided to do something that was completely, totally unthinkable. It was a campaign they called the Pizza Turnaround. And the premise was simple, but crazy. They were going to openly, publicly admit that their pizza sucked. And then they were going to show everyone step by step exactly how they were going to fix it, from the crust all the way up. Now, this wasn't just some Hail Mary pass they threw in a panic. No, this was a really smart, calculated risk. They did their homework. They dug into the research to figure out why people hated them so much. And they realized something brilliant. Nobody was going to believe new and improved unless they first admitted the old one was, terrible. And this became their mantra. We listened, we failed, we fixed it. So simple, right? But think about it. When does a giant corporation ever, just flat out say we failed? It almost never happens. And that honesty, that vulnerability, it was like a secret weapon. It totally disarmed people and gave them a chance to start over. And they didn't fake it with actors, nope. They put their actual CEO, Patrick Doyle, on TV, looking right into the camera and reading those awful customer comments. They showed real chefs in the test kitchen failing, trying again, literally reinventing the recipe. It felt real because it was real, and you just couldn't look away. Okay, so a wild, risky campaign is one thing, but did it actually work? Well, the results weren't just good. They were legendary. People responded to this insane honesty in a way I don't think anyone could have predicted. Check this out. In the first 3 months after the campaign started, sales shot up 14.3%. Now, that's not just a Domino's record. That was the biggest quarterly sales jump in the history of the entire fast food industry, ever. The effect was instant and just explosive. And of course, Wall Street went nuts. The stock price skyrocketed 75% in that same period. I mean, who knew that telling everyone your product was awful would be the best thing you could do for your shareholders? It just flew in the face of everything we thought we knew about business. It wasn't just about sales either. The campaign blew up. It became a cultural touchstone. We're talking 2 billion free media impressions. Everybody from CNN to late-night comedians was talking about it. You literally couldn't buy that kind of buzz. It was a home run. But here's where the story gets even more interesting. Fixing the pizza and telling the truth, that was just Act 1. That massive success gave them the breathing room to do something even bigger, to completely transform what Domino's even was. They basically decided, you know what, we're not just a pizza company anymore. We're a tech company that sells pizza. And they weren't kidding. Today, something like 65% of all their sales in the US come through their website or app. It's a fundamental shift in their entire business model. And they just started rolling out one innovation after another. You know the pizza tracker, right? That was them. The one-touch easy order button? Them too. Then came ordering with a tweet, with an emoji, with your voice. They were obsessed with one thing, making it ridiculously, almost dangerously easy to order a pizza. And listen, this wasn't just window dressing. This was a deep structural change. Today, about half of the employees at Domino's HQ work in software and analytics. Think about that. They really did build an e-commerce powerhouse that just happens to deliver pizza. It's in their DNA now. So, what's the big takeaway from all this? What's the playbook here? Well, it really comes down to a few key ideas that any business can learn from. First off, radical honesty works. Admitting your flaws can actually make people trust you more, not less. Second, you can't just talk the talk. The apology meant nothing if they didn't actually follow through and make a better pizza. Action is everything. Third, they put their customers right at the center of the story. Their feedback was the catalyst for the whole thing. And finally, they showed us all that convenience powered by tech is an absolute game changer. The whole experience matters. You know, at the end of the day, Domino's proved that being vulnerable can be a kind of superpower. It really makes you wonder, in this age where we're all so skeptical of big corporations, maybe the most powerful, most revolutionary tool a brand has is just being honest,